Hi Kashyap, how are you?
I'm fine, ma'am. How are you? How was your day going?
Good. Good to see you again.
Yes, ma'am. Same
So
here.
you joined ANB in 2018, am I right? Or
Yes,
2017?
ma'am.
2018, June, July, something like that? Or earlier than that?
2018, March 27th.
March 27th. Okay. So you've been here for quite some time, and I have seen you as a very young person, a kind of fresh graduate, and now you are settled, married, and you're a fine young man now. So it has been very good to see your progress. I have seen you for the past 6 years. So let me ask you some questions. It's going to be fun only, nothing serious. And
Yes, ma'am.
you can keep on smiling. That's what you do all the time. So your family has a very rich history. So you are from Sindh, am I right? Basically Punjab, Sindh?
Yes, ma'am.
Or,
So, Sindh, Karachi, actually. Today, Sindh
okay.
is a part of
So
Pakistan.
migration, grandparents moved to India rather than to Pakistan.
Yes, ma'am. So, at the time of partition in 1947, my grandparents moved to India. So,
Mhm.
in back then in Sindh, we were very affluent. We had like textile industries and we used to supply clothes to 7 countries. Uh,
Wow.
but
This
then
was in Sindh?
it wasn't Sindh, yes. So
Okay.
then at the time of partition, we had to leave back everything and start fresh here.
Start everything
So
all over again.
yes,
So
yes, ma'am.
where did they move from Sindh, Pakistan to which part of India did they move to?
Yeah, so they moved to Bombay first because we had relatives there, and since we required backing initially, so we moved to Bombay first, and then in 1960, my grandfather moved to Chennai. So I still
1960.
remember.
So they stayed in Bombay for 13 years and then they moved to Chennai.
Yes, ma'am. My
And with that,
grandfather.
did he bring back his textile thing back to Chennai, or how did it work?
No, ma'am, we had to lead back everything actually. So we even had a car and everything there. At that time, it was like only one person will have a car in the whole city like that. So we had to lead back everything. And my grandfather used to tell me like he came with a 10 rupee note to Chennai
To
back then in
Chennai. So
1960.
why
Yeah.
did he move to Chennai? Was it for betterment of living, or what was the goal? Because even there was language barrier, there was culture barrier, and you're talking in the 1960s he moved. So it must have been not an easy task for him to move from Bombay to Chennai. What was the driving force for him to move back to Chennai?
So he completed his graduation in Bombay, and then we had relatives in Chennai, so they had a steel factory here. So then he came to work under them in Chennai.
Steel factory.
So yeah, yeah.
Uh huh.
So
Okay.
he worked in a steel factory here in Chennai, and then
Okay.
after a couple of years, he started his own steel factory also. So there were some ups and downs in between all of that. Obviously, since like uh, but there was no backing as such once we were here. But
Uh huh.
today, I'm still grateful. Like what we are today is all because of him and my father.
Because
Like
of
we
his
have
hard
started
work.
from zero. Yeah, we
So
started
this
from
must
zero.
have definitely influenced your grandfather's journey from coming from Bombay, moving to Bombay without anything in his hand, and then become a successful businessman. It must have had a tremendous influence on your personal and professional life. Can you explain that a little bit? How much
Yes,
your
so
grandfather's journey? What kind of an influence did it have in your personal life?
So, since like because of all this, we have seen a lot of ups and downs in our family, and I've always seen my grandfather to be a very dedicated person for work and towards life. How he managed his family, even though of all the problems. So that was always been a driving factor for me also, and that is the most important part that brings dedication and hard work in me also. So that's like my most driving factor even today.
So basically you were born and brought up in Chennai.
Yes, me even my father is also born and brought up in Chennai.
So do you speak good Tamil or you speak Hindi Tamil?
Initially spoke Hindi Tamil, but now I speak good Tamil. I feel so like
So if someone
Mm.
calls you over the phone and they will not know that you are a Sindhi, you can still speak Madras Tamil and get away with that. Chennai Tamil and get away with that.
Yes, ma'am. So it's like the North Indians don't consider me North Indian, and the South Indians don't consider me when they look at me. But otherwise, yeah, when if I'm
Okay.
speaking to someone, they'll not know. Yeah, that.
Okay,
Uh,
okay. I have not heard that. I need to test that one day. But anyway, so which school did you go to? You so your family just stayed in North Madras. You never ventured out of North Madras. You were always in this on that side, Kripak side, or you moved. You
uh,
did you where you did you live this side of the town? No, it's always been North Madras.
no, it's always been North Madras, ma'am. First
So which school did
Saukar,
you go
and
to?
I went to
Daftan?
Chinna. My dad studied
Chinmaya
in
Vidyalaya.
Daftan. I
Uh-huh.
studied in Chinna. Yeah.
You went to Daftan and then college?
College I studied in HBC Venkateswara. It's in Sriperumbudur.
Oh, Sri Permandur.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. So you did your engineering there.
Yes, ma'am. So I did my BTech IT over there. It was like it was a big
Okay.
travel. It was not a lot of travel,
But
yeah,
they
but
send
it
bus,
was
am I right? I have seen buses go from every part of the city. You are normally I hear what I've heard is the kids get into the bus and then sleep, and by the time they reach Sri Permadur, it will be the right time for them to get up. That's what I've heard.
yeah, we left like by 6:30. I was in the bus, and then from 6:30 to 7:30 I'll be sleeping. So then by then I'll be in college.
Okay. So you did your IT in engineering and your passion for coding started there, or was it were you involved with coding right before college in high school itself?
So I started coding when I was in school itself. So
Uh-huh.
the driving factor came from I played a lot of video games. So then I played a lot of video games, computer games,
Oh,
and
video games. Okay, okay, okay.
that,
Uh-huh.
back then we had the cassette video game which I used to play a
I know,
lot
I know.
with my
Yeah.
dad. So that's the spark of how things worked and how games worked, how applications work. That's when I started trying to get knowledge of programming.
So
And
that's how you
then
got your interest came through to software engineering.
I also did an internship in graphic design, gaming graphic design, in my
Uh-huh.
dad's friend's company. So then that even more increased my interest towards programming, and that's how I decided that I want to become
So
a
your
software
parents were not worried that you are very much focused on playing games and then want to get trained in graphic designing for the games. Were they worried or they were okay? You are on the right track. Where did they know that you were on the right path?
Initially, my dad wanted me to become a CA when I chose science in 11th and
High school.
12th. Yeah, he was a little worried because he himself has done chemical engineering, and when he did chemical engineering, then it was not so developed in India. Like the work
Yeah.
culture was not developed. But then eventually he accepted things. He accepted things, and then he's always supported me then since when I joined college.
So your father
So
is not a businessman. He took a different career path. He didn't follow your grandfather's business then.
no, he was a businessman only. He did his engineering back then, but then
Mhm.
he tried
Managed,
working
yeah,
in
managed.
but then since there were not many companies to work and all that, so then he came back to business only. He did finance, and then eventually he was in share market, and he was an LIC agent also.
Yeah, so that's
So he
why
did
you were
multiple things.
Abhishek always tells me that you are very much into trading and you trade a lot. That's how your passion to trading came. Good. So yeah. So your next question is: I hear that you faced a lot of challenges on your theory papers during your college years, and what were the challenges and how did you succeed? And what motivated you to go and face all the challenges in the right way?
So, like, not many people might be knowing here that I had some ideas in college. So,
Oh, okay.
I feel
Uh-huh.
I had, I cleared all my practical papers and everything that whole programming, but we had some theory papers also, which I wasn't. I was a little playful also, so I wasn't very interested in like reading. Yeah,
And
I
writing.
didn't have an experience, yeah, in writing. So since there was a culture of writing like 5, 6 pages per answer,
Yeah.
And I was very used to that. That's why I had a couple of careers. But
So
then the
you
time
wouldn't
came.
write those 5, 6 papers, 5, 6 pages. You'll just skip that. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, initially I skipped it. I'll write the answer in a single page or two, but then
Uh-huh.
that impacted my marks and everything.
Oh,
So
I
then,
remember way back when I was high school, when we used to do the final exams, everybody will be watching how many papers we'll get from the supervisor that will be managing the exam. That mattered a lot those days. Looks like it's still continuing. Okay.
yes, I
Okay.
was still
So,
like.
so okay. So you went back and you finished and you completed all your areas then. I suppose you should have.
Yes, yes, ma'am. Like I had 5 years, and then since college placements beginning, I cleared all of them in a single semester.
So all it needed was your little bit of effort and focus to write those papers.
Okay.
As you said, it
Yes,
looks
ma'am.
like you were playful. Good. This was for your engineering. You had areas?
Yes, ma'am, for my engineering.
Okay. Okay. So you worked at a startup and it closed its operations. Was it because of but this was before COVID. Okay. What valuable lessons did you learn from those experience and how have they impacted your career?
So when I joined the startup, we had only a single client. But when and then eventually that client had gotten bankrupt. So because of that,
Okay.
we are still trying for getting more clients. So I was there till the last day. A lot of employees left. I was there till the last 5 employees in the company. So that gave me a lot of exposure towards a lot of programming, and I also could I worked towards like giving like showcasing the POCs to the client. So I got a lot of exposure in different parts of my career, like not only
Uh-huh.
programming but also team management. And so that's why I took the opportunity and stayed to the end also. So
So
that was
that
a very big
last
learning.
stretch in that company thing helped you to learn more stuff. Then you did not have the worry that the company is going bankrupt. I'm not going to have a job. But instead of that, you took an opportunity to learn and enrich your knowledge. Am I right? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yeah. So
that's
I
good.
still remember I hadn't got an appraisal, and for last 3 months I wasn't even paid. But still, yeah, I still continue. Like even though I enjoyed the journey, like the learning curve was
And you
quite
were
good.
very young and you didn't have any responsibility, so you could take that risk.
That,
That was a big factor. Am I right?
that is, yes, ma'am. Of course, that is the most important thing. Like today, doing something like that will be really difficult. But yeah, then I took
Yeah,
the risk.
I mean, normally, that is what they say. You take all the chances that you can take when you're young, because you can always bounce back, and then you can fix. If it is not going well, you can always take the right track and move on, and that's what you have done. That's what you have done, and looks like it has worked out on your benefit only, and because you have learned everything. So you started after that company went bankrupt. You joined ANB as a team member, and now you are an associate project manager. As I've told you, I have seen you grow, and it's very impressive. Congratulations on that. And I know you manage quite a number of people because I talk to you often to find out what's happening there on your team. What are some pivotal movements or projects that significantly contributed to your growth and success at ANB? And I know somebody would have motivated you, and I'm sure Abhishek would have motivated you pretty well because you have been working under Abhishek, under his guidance and under his eyes. So, what
Yes,
are the
ma'am.
some of the pivotal movements that has helped you to grow in ANB? And
Like in ANB, for me, the two people that motivated me was one is of course Abhishek, as you said, like the biggest curve and growth in my career came because of Abhishek only. Like he's always motivated me and pushed me towards the limits that I never thought I could do also. So when I moved from ePractice to the DRM and the mobile team, that's when Abhishek got this idea that of developing Zapier, our configurable mobile application, and then that's when I started working on it initially. And because of his idea, like we could and the idea and guidance, I could develop Zapture, and that was like the very big milestone for me in this company because that was like a new product that we
Uh-huh.
developed together.
Yeah.
In this, so that is one of my biggest milestones. Initially, when I joined, I was a part of the Interactors team. So
Okay.
then, Tanaja was my mentor then. Back
Uh-huh.
then, sir was like a bit strict and was very towards perfection. That was his, that was his major goal. Back then, like when we were young, we never understood what was the reason behind it. But eventually, as I progressed in my career, like that also helped me a lot, and I understood the importance of perfection in coding. So that's one thing I looked up to him, and then also.
Okay.
And eventually, then now I'm taking care. I handed over Zapture and I'm taking care of DRM team under Abhishek's guidance. So I'm hoping that I'll have bigger milestones this year. Uh,
Absolutely. That you should
uh,
always have that goal, okay? As a young person, you should not be satisfied with, okay, I am this, it's kind of saturated. No, you should always like, okay, what is next? And how can I improve myself? And how can I be more successful? And how can I help the company to grow? That is what your motivating factor should be. And I think as I told you, I've seen you, you're on the right track and you are kind of focused and you're doing a great job. And I'm hoping that whatever you have told today will definitely motivate the youngsters in your team and the more youngsters in the ANB to see how you came as a very young person and you're a team member and now you're an associate manager. It doesn't happen overnight, but with lot of commitment and lot of effort on your part, I think you have achieved this thing, and best wishes for whatever the future holds for you. The next question is, I know you're all excited. I was excited more than you because you didn't call me. I was the one who called you when I saw the email saying that you've been selected to go to Oslo for the young generation workshop. Am I right? I know
yes,
Abhishek was there. So, how did you get qualified, and what did you write, or what did you? Was there an interview? What was the process? Can you explain so that next year when the thing opens up, we will have more participants because this time Abhishek had to push people to apply for this. It was not
yeah.
an spontaneous because people didn't know what it was, and now that two of you have got selected for the from the out of how many people, 20 people, something like that.
Mhm.
um,
Mhm. Yeah.
Something like that. So it's like a tremendous feat that you have achieved, and I am so proud of you more than anything. I was literally crying with joy when I saw that email that came, and that's when I called you. I woke you up, I guess. So what was the process and what did you do to get selected? And I'm pretty sure this must have been one of your exciting uh, point in your career. It's not an easy task, and it's a very big achievement that and I know Sai Akshay also got qualified. We are going to be doing a podcast on with her also. So can you explain to us what how this whole thing evolved so that it is an informative thing for rest of the people to apply next year?
Yes, ma'am. So, how this started, initially, like you said, I did not know much like what this was and how this worked. So then, Abhishek, as usual, like he pushed me towards applying towards it, and yeah, I was very hesitant. Hesitant. I did not know like what to speak. There was a questionnaire which we had to answer about ourselves. So then, which
Mm-hmm.
I did not know, like what exactly should I say and not say. So then, I drafted out my experience in our company, what milestones I achieved here, and that's the only thing I spoke, and which I just presented myself formally, and I
Uh-huh.
think that's about it. I just spoke about myself, and then the day I was waiting for a long time for the email also to come. So then one fine day, I just checked my email randomly, and I just jumped in Japan immediately. Even you were the first person to call me, and then I told Abhishek also, and it was a very exciting moment for me.
And I'm sure your parents and your wife must have been elated with this news, Joy. You should take your wife
Yes, ma'am.
also with you.
Yes, ma'am. I'll try. We'll
Okay.
see how. Yeah.
I hope people get motivated just listening to your journey with the ANB, and also how you got selected for this program, and I'm sure that it will help the rest of the people who are applying next year on how to get selected. It has been really nice talking to you. I was looking forward to catch up with you, and I
Ma'am,
hope to see you
one
soon in Chennai, and wishing you all the best in whatever dreams you have, and I hope success just comes your path all the time. Thank you, Kashyap. It was really, really nice to talk to you.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, I just one last experience.
Yes.
I just suddenly came to my mind, so I wanted to share. So when it was my first year in the company, I remember I was in the e-tracker team. Then we had this. We used to have awards in our company. So
Yeah.
Bala sir used to give awards in the starting of. So then I remember Bala sir had. That was my first award that I got in the company, and that I also
A
got
best employee
a
award
bonus.
or something.
Yes, ma'am, best employee award. So that moment was
Yeah.
like very motivating, and sir spoke about me. And I always looked up to Bala sir as like as my role model. So when I got an award from him, that was like a very motivating day for me. And like even when I went home, I like had tears in my eyes. So that was one lovely day in my life, and it was I was too much
Oh,
motivated
that
on
is
that.
so nice to hear. But I think you also got another award on in 2022
Yes,
December.
ma'am.
Remember before we
Mm.
moved in November when we had, I think that was one of the last award ceremony we had. I think you
Last one.
also got another award that time. I remember giving the award. So that is really
Yes, ma'am.
nice to hear. Sir will be very happy when he sees this podcast. Definitely he has been a role model to so many of you, and I'm sure he'll continue to inspire every youngster that is in ANB, and also Abhishek continues to inspire all of you. As I said previously, wishing you the best in everything, and hope you have a fantastic time in Oslo. And I would like, but I'll meet you before then. But we would like to hear back from you about your Oslo trip after you come back. Thank you, Kashyap.
Thank you, ma'am.